still like,
Yeah, no, dry heat is no joke. It's like sticking your head in
dry
an
heat
oven.
is better for your hair.
Yes, it is.
Not
You
really.
get humidity, and I become Rosanna Dana.
Oh, well, they open the show.
That's why in the summer I usually just wear my hair up because it will go wild. Yes.
See, the problem with the dry heat
Yes.
is you don't have the humidity that's weighing you down, but you are instantly sweating the moment you step outside. So you're just as soaked.
Yes.
And it sticks to you. And then all the salt and crap in your sweat makes you feel gritty and disgusting. And it's just like 2 seconds out the door.
Hey, Rebecca.
Well, in humidity you sweat, but you don't lose it. It's sort of like the way you do in dry heat. It's just.
So does that mean you expand a little? You swell up a little?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, you do. I mean, one of my ankles swells up and my foot swells up, and it's like,
we're gonna.
Hi guys.
Oh, Anita, it's working way better now. I fixed it.
Yes.
Oh yes, you guys have a story to tell.
Yes,
last night was.
I took Josh hostage for our show tonight after last night.
So about 18 minutes, like I started to have my computer freeze at around the 15-minute mark of our interview, right? And so we thought I was going to correct this up, then it froze. It just solidly froze. So I ended up having to reboot my computer twice. First time I didn't play it right. I figured out that, I had I think there were a couple programs that were interfering with the system. I got rid of them. I think I was right about that. But I also think it was a little bit of an overheat. Now, the official story, though, is J.E. knocked me out and took over the show. That's going to be the official story.
Okay, that's the official story.
The official oh, no, I wouldn't want to mess with Jane. Are you kidding with me? No, she are you kidding? So the other thing, too, I think one of the best surprises when I had Jane on for the first time on my show, we're a lot alike in a lot of ways, right? Mm-hmm. We actually are surprisingly a lot alike. So I would not want to cry. Knowing her, she's probably a more intense version of me in some ways. I wouldn't want. I'm not in a million years. Not in a million years. Right, I'd go the other way as fast as I can.
But I'm scary sometimes.
She's got a reputation.
Well,
Doug love killing people on paper.
Well, no, see, here's the thing. With all due respect to Anita, because I know Anita's here. Anita openly talks about murder. It kind of makes her a little lot more tame, oddly enough. I don't know why that is the way it is, but that's just how it is.
See, I don't think so. I think
I just laugh
she's
about
telling
it.
you exactly what you need to hear.
No, but that's the thing is, where you stand with her. There's a certain refreshing quality with that.
That's not tame, though. That's you're on the level.
Yeah, but that's okay. But Jane's nice. She's a nice person unless you cross her. Then you don't know what she's going to do there, right?
Right.
You don't know what she's going to do to you, right? Like Anita, it's cut and dry. I know what I'm going to expect. I've read her work. By the way, speaking of, Anita's an excellent author. You should definitely check out her work, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Right? But at the same time, I know exactly what I'm going to get with her. Jane has got she's like, I'm cool. She's very nice and friendly. But also, again, you step over that line, I think I'm just dead. I'm just dead. I'm not even gonna have just the axe just fall, not be in it.
You a little, peel back your fingernails.
Yeah. See now don't let the evil come out too much, Jane.
Oh, come on.
No. Keep some mystery to it. Keep a little mystery.
Mystery actually makes you a little scarier. It's true.
Yes. Well, when I started going like this at home, I didn't speak. I just started to do this, and my kids would run.
Yep.
Because mom doesn't get mad often, but oh my God, run when she does.
See, Margaret, I don't know you well enough to actually make a firm opinion about you, right? I would say Anita might be chaotic. No, I don't know about chaotic evil. Right, maybe I almost feel like maybe lawful evil. I somehow feel like she's got a certain code of conduct, and if you cross it, it's over. It's cut and dry. I feel like Anita's cut and dry, right? I don't think Jane's an evil. I think it's maybe neutral, right? Right? Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. which is in some ways the more terrifying form of evil, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor
I
there.
slaughtered
Yeah,
the
because
dwarves.
lawful
Come
evil,
on.
you know what the punishment is going to be, and
Yes.
once it comes, it comes. There is no sympathy. There is no mercy.
Well,
You did it. Now you get paid for it.
well, there's that, but there's also here's the really terrifying thing. C.S. Lewis talks about this is when people,
I'll take that.
right. What am I? I'm very curious what people think about me on this one. But
I would say you're actually chaotic good.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
You like to stir the pot a little. You like to poke the bear, but it's all done in fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I'm just an open asshole about when I do that. I'm just open about it. I don't necessarily want to hurt anybody, but I will call you on your shit. I don't care who you are, right? So, but the thing about it is, with lawful evil is they usually think they're right too, and that's what makes them scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what makes them really scary. It's not that they're following the law.
It's their law.
It's their law, and they're right, and there's nothing you can say about it. Chaotic evil doesn't care, but there's a certain fairness to it, right? And then there's what's the other one? Lawful, chaotic. It's fair because you don't know where it's coming.
Isn't it lawful, neutral, and chaotic?
Yeah, and neutral somewhere. Neutral is a sociopath. They're predictable, if nothing else, right? So I mean,
I wouldn't be on the neutral side.
No, you're definitely not. You're definitely not. I either get ENFJ or ENFIJ, or right. So I either get the intellectual or I get the feeling. And it depends on the day.
Yeah, I usually get ENFJ.
Chaotic, kind of nice.
Is it S? ENFS, whatever.
There we go. Can I make that any bigger? There we go.
Yeah, I'm chaotic good. I am definitely chaotic.
I don't know what I am. I have no idea what I am. Maybe I am the true neutral. I don't know. I was trying to read.
You have a conscience. You do have a conscience.
There's a chaos to you.
Yeah.
There's a bit of chaos in there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm definitely chaotic good. That is pretty much me to a T. I don't care about the standard rules. I'll tell you actually a really fun story. And then we'll get into where we're getting into it. So I'm back in Calgary. I get pulled over by the C train. I'm so chill with the two cops that are pulling me over. I try to walk by. I get caught, but once I get caught, I'm just chill, right? Mm-hmm. They ended up sending 5 police officers on me to write me a ticket.
What?
Yeah, because I didn't react. I was giving eye contact. I was just being me, right? She has a conscience, Rebecca. She has her own. She has other things too, but she does have a conscience. So it's like,
she does understand right from wrong. So
yes.
Not true evil.
Yeah. So but they were like to me, you're behaving really weird, and I just go, I'm sorry you feel that way. Because I'm looking them dead in the eyes, and
the word choice.
Oh.
No, it is. I don't. It's not even this word choice. It's just I am cooperating. I cooperated with them, but they were just they were perturbed because
they didn't know how to take you.
Yeah, exactly. They were just so perturbed about it because I wasn't resisting, and I was cooperating, but I was giving them eye contact. I wasn't going under any of the authoritative crack. I just was looking at them like people, and it's a very interesting thing. I'm not being violent. I'm just being me.
Yes.
We're giggling.
Yeah.
But
that's why I was giggling.
No. I didn't say Jane was perfect. That's right. Let's just be honest about that.
Well, nobody's perfect.
And I apparently can babble for 35 minutes straight.
Yeah, we need to get back to that story of what happened. We went way up. How did we even get to that?
And I have to thank Anita because she was there in the comments and it actually helped me get through it because I was like, at some point I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's totally like, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, and by the way, this is how I actually got to be. By the way, the original story of me crashing is how I also became on the guest on the show tonight. It was like, do you want to come on? We don't have a guest. I'm like, sure, I'll come on. I got no problem with it. And for those watching and listening on Monday, I'm doing 2 interviews that day. In the early afternoon, I'm interviewing a band, heavy metal band from Israel called Stormbound. Right. Yeah, I like my show has expanded in terms of my guest range. I do metal bands on a regular basis now. It's kind of cool. And then I have Jane in the evening. So it's going to be literally a rocking Monday, like both shows.
Way to start the week.
Yep. 8 p.m. Eastern time.
That is correct.
Yes.
8 p.m. Eastern for hers, 2 p.m. Eastern for the band. So,
Jane, what did you talk about for all that time when you were just babbling into the
I have no
computer?
fucking clue.
You just
that's the worst nightmare
I
when
talked
you're
a little bit about writing, about my stories, about my kids, about my kayaking. Oops, sorry. My kayaking experience on vacation, which was funny. So I did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then I was like, I don't know. I showed my shirt, and then I apologized for showing my boobs because it was just right there. So yes, because I had a.
So she's flashing people, so clearly not good.
Things on, and in order to see the whole, it was Eddie in his guitar playing. So I stood up to show that, and yes.
I actually was of all the people this was to happen to, Jane is the one I'm actually happiest it happened to, ironically enough, because there's not many. I have a few guests that could pull it off, but like Joe could do it.
Yeah.
Right. I have a few, but some of them are. Yeah.
I could see that. I with your personality, Michael, I could see that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It really is the personality match. If you are, it's not even like your personality has to be good and their personality has to be. If you connect with them, your personalities mesh. There's never a problem. But if you guys rub each other the wrong way, that's when
the thing is, they didn't rub me the wrong way. Right,
that was them the wrong way.
Absolutely,
with something they were feeling from you. So they called for 5 cars for backup.
They called for 5. They called for 5, like 3 other officers. 2. Like, okay, so logically, 2 officers make sense. It does make sense. If I was a psychopath, it's good to have at least 2. Like, it's good to back yourself up. 2, I understood. When it got to 5, I was like, this is a little excessive. Like, for a ticket? Like,
we having a party, guys? I mean,
right.
Do we need to like find a location, get some beers?
It's good to know that if I ever decide to become a like whatever, like they're like I scare cops enough that they actually have to come in multiples. I think I get a kick out of that. I get a kick out of that. So because I mean you've seen me. It's like I'm not the most physically imposing guy in the world, but it's just like maybe I just don't care. I don't know.
You made eye contact. That's probably it. Because most people cower or try to make excuses or bribe or bargain to get out of tickets. And you're just like, all right.
Yep. Pretty much.
I love the time that I got pulled over going to school. It was right after I got engaged. And I must have been going 110 in a 55. Okay. And the cop pulls me over and he goes, do you know how fast you're going? I said, no, I just got engaged. I said, I have no idea how fast I was going. And I showed him my ring. It was just like, and I don't think he knew what the hell to do. Well, I got a seatbelt infraction and told to slow down.
Wow, you got off light.
Yeah. He said, normally I would have to take you in, but he goes, I'll give you a break.
Yeah, no, it's like sometimes you like
This is why my husband drives, because if I'm driving, I'm a speed demon.
You're a speed demon. Yeah.
Yes, I am a speed demon.
I'm actually terrified about that by myself. I somehow feel I will be one of those speed demons myself. Right.
Yes.
Right. Intuitive and sensory, by the way, Michael, intuitive, it tends to go by intuition. All right. Oh, you know.
It was the 80s. Come on. We didn't have to back then.
We're supposed to.
Well, okay. Well, all right.
We're just like on 3 different conversations.
Okay?
Yeah, no, totally. Like you guys want to get to the topic, we totally can. We started like with me, like, yeah, but it's just like, let's just have some conversations, right?
I'm enjoying the way this keeps like going in different directions and then converging again.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Like I said, this is your show. I'm just here to be the pretty one today. So
I was just answering the question.
I'm enjoying finding out how Jane did, because that is one of those things where when you're stranded on a live show.
Anita said I did pretty good.
Yeah, no, she did. She said you did good.
Yeah, no, like she's like Jane can like legitimately hold her own. Like there's a few, like I could tell you, like there's a few guests I would be like, yes, I think you can do it. There's a few guests I'm like,
oh
okay,
my God,
maybe,
they're gonna bail.
Maybe, and then there's some it's like
oops.
Yes.
I just know, like I can usually I mean, some people can surprise you, but as a general rule of thumb, it's like, I don't think you can do it, right?
Well, your audience now knows that situation was probably my worst nightmare situation.
But you did it though.
Yes,
you made it.
I don't like honestly, like you're a confident speaker. You're fun. You're a fun person to be around. I think honestly you can carry a show on your own if you want to. Like you can totally do it. You know, I have a lot of practice at it, but I mean, when it comes right down to it, there's a lot of people that can do a really good job on their own given the opportunity. I'm sorry it happened the way it did. I felt really bad about that.
It was,
yeah.
It's technology.
Yeah.
Technology fails sometimes. And you have to just flow with it.
Well, it depends on why you're smiling. That's what it comes down to, Michael. Yes. It actually depends on why you're smiling. So like I said, my background, my dad actually was born in Detroit in the 60s, civil rights movement, all that stuff. He grew up in some of the rougher areas of the city for the first chunk of his life. So I got stories, man. I got stories just from him alone. I'd be like, and the thing is, like, it's again, the world, in some ways, the world has changed. Some ways it has not. And it's one of those things where you just got to look at it and go, okay, like that was the time, that was the place. But like I said, you'd be surprised. Like people can, it's why you smile. Me, like I said, at those 5 cops, if I had really smiled, I probably would have been shot.
Thank God that didn't happen.
Thankfully it didn't.
Well, I'm in Canada too, so it's not likely to happen here. But I mean, it's just one of those. It's one of those situations where you just gotta be like real. It's just like it is what it is, right? So. But yeah, generally speaking, if you can get along with somebody, if you can find common ground with someone, though, they are far less likely to be like. They might disagree with you. They may have to do something, like give you a slap on the wrist, like they did with Jane. Like sometimes that has to happen, but it'll be as light as they possibly can do it at that point, right? As long as you're not an asshole about it, they will let you off.
Not me.
Well, another time I was it was my dad's car, and he didn't have updated insurance. So my father got the ticket for not having updated insurance. I didn't get a ticket.
There was a karaoke. Apparently, I've missed a lot of shows. There was a bar last night. There was a karaoke earlier. Good Lord.
I found out about the bar right at the end, but even so, like my computer was down for most days because I had to be Mr. Maintenance, so I missed it. I was sad because it was Joe's last bar. It was kind of like
it was the last one.
It's his last. It was his last Joe's bar. Yeah, so I was sad, but I still left a little message for Joe. Like I actually, and I'll just say it here, special shout out to Mark Watson and Con Lavery. Whenever we did Wentworth Collide, Joe, myself, up until as long as they were live, like myself, Mark, and Con were always there. Cool.
Cool.
I'm sorry Margaret? I missed it. I was running around last night. I had because my house was completely out of order this week. I was picking up groceries. I was dropping the kids off at their dad's. I mean, didn't get home until like 8 o'clock.
Mm.
So
and we were out on the deck talking with our neighbor until like 11:15.
oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
So, and I was shivering because I was in my shorts, my sleeveless shirt and shorts, and it was like 65 degrees.
I want
or,
some of
or
that.
low. Like, I'm a little cold. I didn't say anything because I was enjoying the conversation, but I'm sitting here like.
I can't wait till it starts to cool down. Knock on wood. I don't want to say too much and jinx it, but it seems like this is the first year we're actually getting monsoon season.
Ooh.
We have not had a decent monsoon season in probably 10 years.
Well, that's good though.
So far, we've gotten more rain than I can remember getting at the right time of the year, because August is usually our rainy season, or at least it used to be. Since the end of July, we've been having probably 2 to 3 good storms every week.
Oh, nice.
So here, we've also had more moisture. Up until May, we actually had snow in May.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes. So because here's the thing, Alberta, I'm right near the mountains. I'm an hour away. I miss those mountains so
I'm
much.
sure you do.
I'm
sure you do.
My goal is hopefully everything works out magically for me the next few months, because if it does, I might just decide, springtime next year, I might just go back, because I really, really, really miss those mountains.
Aww.
I really, really do. You live there for 6 months. It totally is a different feeling. I can still see them.
It's beautiful up there.
No, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're supposed to get a 100-year flood this year. Rebecca said.
But this is our first heat wave, like our first serious heat wave. Like, we've hit 30 degrees Celsius, about 105 degrees a few times. But to be honest with you, right, this is it. Like, this is the warmest it's been, right? And I say that as the guy wearing, totally black. I mean, like the hottest day of the year. Right. So.
Yeah. No, next year we're going back to Alaska. So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, your audience knows about my cruises, knows about the weddings, knows about all this other stuff. I was just like, okay, what do I talk about? So.
Yeah.
Wait, the city destroying flood. So Vegas isn't going to get destroyed.
Yeah, no.
All right, so Margaret said that she was watching New Mexico monsoon season drone footage on TikTok, and I said that New Mexico gets some crazy storms that create haboobs. If you don't know what those are, that is because all the dust that gets kicked up from the oncoming storm, it literally creates a wall of sand and dust and debris that is thick as soup, and it comes right before the storm hits.
That's kind of gross.
You see those in Arizona, New Mexico, and then in like the Middle East. And they are crazy. I've been a passenger through one of those before, and it literally, like, you hit a wall and you cannot see anything in front of you until you clear it. And then right afterwards, it's like hail.
Yes.
Yeah. Rebecca knows.
Yep.
So we don't get dust storms up here, but we get like everything else. Sometimes in the same day, right? Sometimes like I remember my first year I lived in Calgary. This is back in like 2003, 2004. I was looking for a job. In that time I was looking for a job. It was sunny, rainy, cloudy, sunny and raining. I've never seen that before in my life.
I've seen that.
Yeah. I was just like, no, it wasn't. I'm not done. It hailed, went back to sun, went back to cloud, rained again, and that was like a 2-hour process. It was just
no snow in there.
Schizophrenic weather.
No snow. I've driven through snow when there have been no clouds and sun.
That's awesome.
That's like, where is this coming from? Is there a cloud right over my car? You're thinking that you're Charlie Brown and it's going with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest being outside when a haboob comes through.
No.
And Margaret is apparently on the doomsday kick right now.
Yeah.
Well, I can kind of understand. You know.
Yeah, sun snowstorm. Yes, exactly. It was bizarre.
Weather Tales with authors. I like that.
Yes,
That's what I'm going to
yes.
title this when we're done. Weather Tales with authors with the
Oh, weather-
TALEZ.
Yes. Yes. Well, speaking of Joe's Bar and Josh and Joe, and all of that, you want to show one of
Oh
Josh's
yeah, we were going to
promos.
talk about your advertising.
Yes, I want to talk
Yes.
about your advertising because I
Yes.
got one too.
All right, well, lead us into it. Tell us about how you started it.
So
Give us the build up.
Okay, so the long story short, I was interviewed for a podcast job in about, I'll say 4 months ago. The job was basically interview businesses, record footage, do micro ads, and for social media accounts, which is like, I thought about that for a second. It's like, wait a minute, I can do pretty much all of this on my own and make more money, and consequently, we have, right? So, but the idea was, my whole idea is people connect to people. They don't necessarily connect to products; they connect to people and ideas and experiences. So the idea is, I can create an ad campaign or even just a single ad that encapsulates your story. And I've been very fortunate. I've had some clients so far. I might have actually just gotten another one today, which is weird. And then, but I was thinking about, like, in between the gap with clients, how am I going to advertise this? I'm like, well, I got my podcast, and I can just take images in the podcast or in stories in the podcast and advertise them. So Joe was my very first attempt at this. I talked about the decentralization of publishing, and that's literally the first clip. And it did something like over it's currently at 1,371 views on TikTok.
Well, let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Kickstarter is still relative from an author point of view, an untapped territory. It's still very untapped. There are some people that do well with it. Like Russell Nolte is the man. He's the fucking man at Kickstarter.
Madeline Holland Rossi, she does really good on it.
I'm finally getting her on the show. I'm actually really happy about this because I've never had her on the show. I'm getting her on it. It was supposed to be this week, but she got caught with something. We'll lose her business, but she's come out on again in a couple weeks, and I'm really looking forward to it. But no, there are some people, like, the thing about Kickstarter is it's not just a Kickstarter, it's Unbound. Like, the thing about writing in general today, there are so many roads.
Yeah.
And unless you are Jonas Saul or Stephen King or J.K. Rowling or Brandon Sanderson even, or
Tosca Lee,
or Diana Gabaldon, someone of that, like, and there's other authors in that echelon too, but
Jonathan Mayberry.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, and by the way, folks, if you feel like I'm knocking, I'm not. It's what has happened, and the word is publishing has decentralized.
Yeah.
And because it's decentralized, what's happened now is, if you build, it's a weird thing. Traditional publishing doesn't market like it should, and because it doesn't market like it should, you have this opportunity of building an audience on your own. So now you're in this really weird space. If you get to a certain audience, why would you go there?
Yeah.
Like, what's in it for you, right? And because I don't give a shit about awards or tradition. Like, I don't care. So I don't care about being recognized. None of that shit matters to me.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy my books? That's great. That's all I care about. So, and I say it like that because again, that also gives me maximum leverage.
Yeah.
Right. Because now, again, I'm not worried about my ego being stroked. I'm worried about getting paid. Again, slightly different perspective.
So
right?
There's precedence for this, though. There's precedence.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in it. I was in the music industry when it collapsed, and the music industry had this arrogance about it. The big music moguls had a big arrogance about it, and they continued to shut down. Just like artists were making subtle demands. Can we get one more percentage on our points for off the gate concerts? Can we get one more percentage off? They were making very subtle demands, and they were being shut down. And you could only do that so much to people. And then the artistry itself was being so sanitized and so formulaic at that point. And I think the publishing industry especially the traditional publishing industry, is falling victim to that a little bit. And like you said, somebody with a great idea, a brand new idea that will blow up, the publishing industry doesn't look at it that way. They look at it, is it a safe bet kind of idea? And that is the mistake that they're making, and it's going to cost them. It is going to hurt their business. And if they don't pivot, because the film industry went through this about 10 years ago with indie film, and they pivoted. They decided to change everything they were doing. They started doing things on digital. They started embracing divisions within their bigger companies like Lionsgate and DreamWorks. They had smaller divisions where they were producing their own indie films and putting their money behind indie film. And the film industry thrived because of it, and they survived.
Hello, we are back. Yeah, we're in different spots. That's okay.
Yeah, we're playing musical spots now.
Yes, we are.
So that was good. That was a good little snippet, and I like the link at the end to send people where they can listen to the full show, drive the traffic.
It's been interesting. It's been interesting to watch it. Like for me, like the benefit for this has been TikTok, but also LinkedIn. Like I said, I started doing these videos literally those ones literally this week. And what I noticed is, okay, so in LinkedIn, I get something like between 30 and 50 impressions. I'm currently at 750. So that's 4 videos. That's like 5 videos in a week. So it's just like I watch this. I also got a job interview next month because of what I did there. So it's just like one of those. It's one of those things where I realized like it's doing this kind of thing is very beneficial, because if you are looking to get yourself out there, like, it's not just about your product, it's about you. And and especially as an author, you're a brand. Like, if people can relate to you, people are going to buy your stuff, right? People don't just buy things, they buy experiences and feelings. That's what stories do, right? And you can market a story that way too. But I think in the long term for most authors, it's beneficial to market themselves.
Yeah, we've talked about that plenty of times. Authors have to be marketing themselves, but they've also got to do it in a way that feels natural, in a way that doesn't feel like you're giving a hard sell. You got to make yourself as interesting as your work, pretty much.
Or you just got to be you. Like thing is, human beings are always interesting, right? It's recognizing what everybody values. Like when I did Jane's videos, which I'll probably show a little bit later on, I realized the 2 big things Jane cared about were her kids and freedom. And it's a big part of her brand. And like a lot of her books touch on all those things, right? So that was the focus on most of it. Also, the fact that she's like a workaholic, an insane workaholic. That's where right? That's the other part. But if you want someone that does a really good example of constant advertisement, look at Jane's socials. Like, she's always going.
She is on all the platforms. Well, let's look at Jane's video.
Okay.
All right.
18 months and 8 books just poured out. So those were all stories in my head for so long, and it just poured out, and it took 2 years after that to edit and get them right.
Yeah, but that's impressive as hell. Like I just, like I said, I can comfortably do, and they're different sizes, 3 books a year. I watch your output and I'm like, damn. Right. Yeah.
4 novels, 2 or 3 short stories consistently.
Yeah.
So it and and I'm getting better at my edits. It doesn't take me 2 years to edit, but that was 8 books.
Well, yeah, 2 years, 8 books. That's about right. Actually, it is about right. Like that's about 3 months a book. Yeah, that's about right.
That's about my pace. So
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it was a really simple. Again, just taking that, like, and I did a big campaign with her too, because it was of what it was. So there's so much information about her, and it's spread throughout my social platforms. The other cool thing about an ad like this too, even if the book sale stuff is done, you can put it on your website, your newsletter. You can put it in places where it's evergreen, because now I'm talking about you, and that right, and not so much your books. Oh, yeah. I'm marketing your book.
It's not today's flavor. It's the whole ice cream pot.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. So that's the whole thing, right? So it's been interesting doing this because, I mean, there's definitely some ups and downs. I also learned a very valuable lesson. I'm never doing a 2 hour.
Oh,
Oh no!
Oh no! Hold
Wait, he's
on,
still
hold on.
there? He's still sort of there.
Oh, you're
Oh, wait,
there.
I am still there. Kind of there, yeah. Wait, am I there?
I can hear your voice.
Oh, you're getting choppy.
Okay, cool.
Your video is getting choppy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Actually, dude, I don't know what's going on exactly. Hold on a
Murphy's
second.
Law.
Yep.
Yes, of course. There we go.
That's a good stop where you are. Oh, there you are.
There you go. Kind of, sort of. Yeah. No.
This is how it started last night too. Still
There
has a
goes.
glitch.
Well, here, how about we put on the last video
Ah,
and hopefully that'll let Josh reset.
Yep.
And
Yep,
if
he's
not,
back.
we'll figure something out.
Yep.
But this last
exactly.
one is
I might leave
with
Yeah.
JD Estrada. Oh, everybody
Yes.
loves him. Fan favorite.
Yes,
Here we go.
we all love
See,
it.
Hogan versus The Rock. That was actually a really good match.
It
I was
was.
surprised that I was like, oh, let's see what it's going to be, and it's one of the best, big name matches that I've ever seen.
Have you ever watched it with the volume down?
No,
Watch it with the volume down and watch it with the volume up. It is such a you will look at the match differently. You will put because the crowd makes that match. The crowd being so into it made that match.
But
They didn't have to do anything, and they didn't. But it was great.
no, that goes for anything. I've seen Pearl Jam live quite a few times. The best crowd that I've seen Pearl Jam with was in Cleveland. The crowd was so invested, and it was amazing. And when it comes to crowds, I'll give a shout out to Puerto Rico. If you have a good band and you give a hell of a show in Puerto Rico, they're going to show you a lot of love. And in terms of wrestling, I also saw a pay-per-view there. I forgot what the name of the pay-per-view was. But there's a couple of things when they punch people, it's like the entire crowd, and then he winds up, everyone goes and stuff like that. You go like, it's like when you go and see a movie and everyone is adding to the experience.
Yeah, no, and that's totally the Hogan Rock match. That is totally the Hogan Rock match.
It's like
Completely.
when people laugh, when they have to laugh, when they have to scream, when they
there any performance, there's a rhythm to a performance, and when the performance hits a certain point, it doesn't matter what you do. And that's true whether you're going to watch a rock show or a wrestling match or even getting laid. There's a point in it where you actually don't have to do much anymore. Everybody's in the experience, and that's it. Like right, it's the experience that people are into. If you can stimulate that part of things, doesn't matter what it is in life, you will.
That's why soccer is what it is in Europe and in South America and Central America and Mexico and
Well, Josh didn't come back.
Aw.
Dang it. Well, hopefully he reboots and he comes back okay.
Yes.
It sucks that he's
Yeah,
having
I
so much
hope so.
technology problems right now.
Well,
That is the worst.
The heat, he said, may have done something yesterday. I mean, if you're in an apartment that's, not air conditioned, and that's him now. He said, hope to be right back.
All right, well,
thumbs up
cross
like
your
I did last
fingers.
night. But yes, his services were fantastic.
Yeah, I
So,
like these snippets. Like he picks just the right spots of interest, keeps them under 5 minutes, so it's not too long. They're not too short. You get enough information that leaves you wanting more. That's perfect.
Right. And when he did my stuff, he did a combination of mostly me, but then he did a couple of Wicked Heart. So
I like yours at the end with the book cover and the music. It just good finish.
Yeah. He says he's almost back.
And editing videos. I know Joe's in the audience. I hate editing videos. I think that is such tedious work, and it's not the kind of work I like to do.
No, I mean, I did that in a previous life. I was a
I
film
remember.
editor, and the editing suites of news and news clips and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's not exactly. If you have the right tools,
And
it's a little
patience.
easier. It's a little easier, but even so, it's tedious. Seconds, down to the millisecond. Where you do the cut and then put something, vary it. I did my whole wedding video. I had
Really?
2.5 hours of footage. Wow. And I made it a half an hour. So
Wow.
Oh yeah, I crammed it, and I was able. They put it on film or put it on tape for me, and then I did all the edits onto a DVD. Not a DVD, a VCR at that time, and then now it's on DVD. But
props to you and anybody else who can do that.
That was just, and I sped up the reception line so everybody's like this. But I got to see everybody.
There you go.
So yeah, and I had music tracks and everything. So.
Oh no, we're dating ourselves now.
Oh yes.
Who remembers VHS? I think all of our audience remembers VHS tapes.
Well, yeah, I worked at the television station 88, 89 through 91, and then I went into insurance.
Okay.
So like 3 or 4 years, and then insurance.
I was still a little one then.
Yeah.
I was like Zoe's age back then.
Yes, like gray hair, white hair. He said, I'm old. I'm older than you think. But yeah.
Joe says he used to not like it because it was tedious. Yeah, but when you do something cool, it is worth it. That's true. Hunter is actually learning to do video editing. He's been he has a new channel now. Something happened to his old one, so he had to restart his channel. Mm-hmm. And he's now taking videos from his sister's VR when he's playing games. Mm-hmm. And he's sending them to his computer. He's editing them, creating transitions, and then loading them up to YouTube. And I watched them. I watched one of his videos the other day, and I caught some of the transitions that looked really good. It's like, where did you learn this? He just taught himself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, but how many of you have hundreds of VH? Oh, I do still have a few. Not hundreds.
I have
but I do
all of the Disney collection.
Disney, that's it.
All of the Disney collection. And I have a VHS player. I actually have one that writes to DVD now.
Oh, cool.
I have a VHS because I wanted to get all those wedding tapes transitioned onto DVD.
I think everybody has Disney on VHS.
Yes.
That was like a requirement because they would withhold them. You could only get them during certain times when the vault was open. So you had to get them. Likely no longer. Who knows?
Yeah.
If they do work, it'll be one time and then they'll break.
Yes. He should be popping in soon. He's logging in now. Yeah, that
been converted to VHS original.
I had 16.
Yeah, they were big.
I had 16 millimeter film from the 20s.
Wow.
And 30s and 50s. Yeah, the earlier ones were black and white. Yeah, and I have a reel-to-reel player.
What?
And and the ones from the 50s, 40s and 50s were, New York. I've got the blimp in New York and stuff like that. So, and it was my mom's parents at the end of it. So I transcribed all of that. I taped it, and I had one of those little video cameras, and I set it up, and I taped the playing of the thing, so they'd have it. Their whole family has it. So, yeah, yep. Yeah, so it's just like, okay, and I still have the player, and the camera I have was one of the first color cameras too. So it's like, okay, I've never used it. I just have this ancient thing that I don't know what the hell to do with it.
It's an antique now.
It is. All of it is. Even the player is. But it's just like, okay, What do
I
I
think
do
my
with the
dad
show?
has one still. I
And I have
remember as a
cameras.
kid seeing one.
I have antique cameras.
Wow.
I could have antique guns, but I don't want them in my house. The old powder pack ones.
Oh my God!
Like
Really?
the ones that you see the duels? Yes.
Oh my goodness! Those are
Yes.
things that you would like put out as like collector's items to
I would have
show.
to have a shadow box or something
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
couple of them, but
Glass
I ha-
casing and all that.
but it's like I really don't have. That would have gone really well in our billiard room at the old house
Ooh.
because we had the pool room down there and the bar and all that. That would have been perfect for there, but we don't have that here. Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's fancy if you've actually got a billiards room.
yeah. I did with the bar. There he is.
There you go. Am I back?
You're back.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're on to another random set of topics now.
Okay, cool.
And antique filmmaking, editing,
And guns.
And guns.
Why not? Why not?
I mean, my brother has the antique, the World War II Japanese katana.
Yeah.
Oh.
That my grandfather got when he picked up the first POWs.
That's awesome.
Yes. So that I would have liked, but the older brother gets it.
I'm a bow and arrow guy. It's oddly relaxing to shoot a ball, which is very, very relaxing. Just it is. I always found guns noisy, right?
Well, they are noisy, but they're
Well, that's the
if
thing.
you can hit something with them, they're cool. But if
some
you're
guns,
like me and have to aim at somebody's foot to hit them in the heart.
Yes.
Actually, I need
no,
something smaller than I have.
Well, the thing is, see, guns have two things. They have a kick that's annoying.
Yes.
Right. They have a kick that's annoying, and then noisy. Now you can sometimes get a kick with a bow. Like you shoot a 70-pound bow, it's got a kick, but you better be strong enough to deal with it. But it's quiet. I like quiet.
Well, there's that sound that.
Yeah, but it's not. It's oddly. There's an odd zen to it. There's a real odd zen to it, and
it's cool.
Pretty accurate on the sound.
When I was younger, my parents would get rid of me for the summer and send me away to camp. So I got to do horseback riding and shoot archery and go rock climbing and do all that fun stuff. So I was never upset that they got rid of me for the summer. I was actually kind of happy.
Yes.
I love doing that kind of stuff. That was awesome.
So when I lived in a place called Park Hill, Ontario, back when my family was all together before separations, divorce, all that stuff, my backyard was an archery range. My friends and I would come shoot in the back all the time. It's fun. So fun. Right? It's totally meditative. Like, that's why I like it so much. Right? I'm probably most comfortable with a 30 to 50-pound bow. Probably to get back into shape for it, I probably would do a 30. But eventually I brought like 50 as a comfort zone. You don't need a 70 unless you really, really want to do some bad things to somebody. But I mean, right. 70-pound bows are strong.
Shooting, you don't need that fancy.
The music's coming from where I'm at, Rebecca. It's currently in. I'm currently in a Starbucks because again, it overheated. What happened this crash here? Now, when I was at my house, it took an hour to restore my system. Here, it was like 3 minutes. So, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Chuck E. Cheese.
There's no balls here, Joe. There's no balls. Oh.
No ball pin, huh?
No. That was my favorite thing about Chuck E. Cheese. The ball pin was always fun.
And mind you, he's got the music there. I have a bass beat because they have a band at the ball field at the campground. And my husband's like, it's really quiet in here when he came to get his drink. He says, it's really loud out there.
So we know what you're doing after the show.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I'd be doing it too.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
because we'll have about an hour left.
Now, how long are you guys going to be out at the trailer now that it's starting to cool down?
October 15th is close weekend.
Okay.
But we're not sure if we're going to close that weekend or the 9th. So it depends
long.
on the weather.
Mm.
In September, we can get the the fall heat. So yeah. Oh, bombs. Okay.
Rebecca's got some interesting neighbors.
Yes. Yeah.
No, bored neighbors. No. See,
Some people just
Rebecca.
don't learn.
Well, no, it's not that you're bored. I don't know where Rebecca is. I used to live in a place called Snowflake, Arizona.
She lives in South Carolina.
Okay, so it's probably the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else to do. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna look for some stupid, like you're gonna look for trouble. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna be bored. You're gonna try stuff. Sometimes it's really constructive. I mean, that's why a lot of bands come from the middle of nowhere. Sometimes, like I got nothing else to do. Then every once in a while you deal with a neighbor that likes to shoot and blow stuff up, and that's
Darwinism is not doing its job.
Oh no, it totally is. No.
We don't shoot on our property. We have a gun range that we go to.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what you should do it.
We're responsible owners.
Yeah, most gun owners are. Most of them, right? Yes. So it's one of those things where you got to look at it and kind of go, okay, where are you? What's your neighborhood like? So the other thing about Darwinism, here's the thing, guys. Life is unfair. It's done that way on purpose. Because if life was fair, most of us would be dead. Most of us, not all of us, but most of us would be. So that's why life's unfair. It's kind of like a fail-safe. On the minus side of it, though, is it's not a perfect system. Some people stay alive maybe a little longer than they should, but maybe that's a good thing.
North Carolina, not South Carolina. My bad. I've got family in both.
Cops and even choose. Can you blame them?
No, I wouldn't go there either.
like if you're a cop, like, do you want to know? If you're an EMT, it's like, oh God, why? Like why am I here again?
Right? You're calling not it.
What's just it? Like eventually you run out. Here's the thing. Like they're human beings too. You know, someone's doing stupid shit. Let's just say, for the lack of a better, stupid stuff. You can't stop them really. Like no matter what we say, hey, no worries. And oh, by the way, you got some love earlier in the episode too. I hope you saw it. But the thing about that is, right? It you get to that point where it's like, oh man, I got there again. It's probably gonna be the same stupid thing I did last time. And if you're a cop, there are points. Cops know everything. Like, if you're in the neighborhood long enough, you learn everything. And then there comes this question of, do I really do something about it? Am I really going to do anything about this? Is this really going to change anything? Like,
it sounds like this guy was the reason why pizza boxes now say do not eat the box.
Yes, pretty much.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, anytime you see a warning label, no matter how ridiculous it is, it's because somebody did the thing they're warning you against.
Yes. And that just, I mean, they should take all warning labels away and just let Darwinian theory win.
Well, Jane, back me up on this. When your kids are little and they do something stupid, you warn them first. You try and warn them again. After that, you're like, all right, do it. And then when they come crying, you're like, now you learned.
I told you so. I warned you.
It works.
Warning, you did not listen.
Life's generally a great teacher, but I mean, that's not always the case, mind you. But
there are some doozies that I've read recently, and I'm like, really? They have to have this?
At the end of the day, people do exactly what they want to do.
That is true.
Yes, right. But why warn them if they're going to be idiots? Why?
But that's my point.
Yes, exactly. I'm with you, Richard.
It might have some critical thinking. It might have some critical thinking. Who knows, right? I don't know.
Or we end up with a whole generation.
Oh, I am sadly aware of this. Yes. I am very sadly aware of this.
Yes.
Right. And it's like, it's such a rare thing these days. I mean, your generation has it more theoretically more than mine does, and it's frightening when I deal with people like in your generation that have less than me. I worry. I'm like, what happened here?
Exactly.
No, it's true. No, because, and that might sound really thing, but the thing is, again, look at how education has evolved.
Senility coming in earlier.
Our education is devolved, unfortunately. Yes, we know more technology stuff, but the education system itself is devolving because it's not educating for today's needs. It's educating for, when it was created. It was that assembly line system of education. So it's devolving. It's not growing with the times like it's supposed to be.
When I meant to say how is it evolved, I should say how it changed. There's the word choice there, right? Yeah. It used to be, okay, there are we have technology today. I actually think generation, on any generation under me by about 5 years, probably knows more stuff than me. Probably. They have no idea how to take that and solve a problem, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, shit. My kids, their school has to have 15 standardized tests during the year. Yeah. They take one test 4 times a year. That is a test meant to tell the teacher how much they understand. Mm-hmm. Now, if the teacher's teaching the class, the teacher knows what kids are understanding, what kids aren't understanding. Why do they have to take a test 4 times a year? And that's just one standardized test to measure the kids and tell exactly where they are. It's ridiculous.
We all feel like a baby.
Second week of school, they're already taking this test for the first time this year. Mm-hmm. And it's a 3-day long test. It's ridiculous.
It's how it goes, though. That's how it works, and the baby's gone now. Margaret.
You need a test to tell your teacher what level you're at when your teacher should be teaching you, and through teaching and interacting with you, understand if you're getting it right or wrong. She grades the papers. Right. She sees whether or not you're comprehending.
I see. That's the thing, though. They don't necessarily do that. It's what the standard is, right? If the standard's low. So I remember when I remember my dad gave my teacher showed this in the 7th grade. This is back when I was in elementary school. I'd gone from an 80% to a 60%. She hadn't said a word to anybody, right?
But you get progress reports.
But it doesn't necessarily. But no, that. She wasn't saying anything. She hadn't mentioned anything about my progress applying to me or anybody else. So he got to her. So why didn't you say something sooner? Yeah. Right? Why instead of let him go down to this downward path? Why don't you just let him know, or at least let somebody know, right? So that, right? And this is now again, this is the way it is, right? They don't necessarily. If the standard is a certain level, and if they're above a certain level, that's what's going to be. That's just the way it is. The thing about education today, in your country especially, is I've been in a few of your states. It's yikes. It's a general rule of thumb. Is how I grade it. But that's not to say we're much better anymore. Like I said, the average kid younger than me knows way more about stuff than I do, going from a knowledge base, from a wisdom base, of figuring and putting it all together. They don't have it. They're not taught that. I was one of the last. Again, there was a big difference between when I was taught and when everybody has come under me. They're taught very differently. So that they can't.
Between my oldest and my youngest, in the way that Common Core was brought about while my oldest was going through the system.
My kids refused. My daughter's like, I know how to add and subtract. I don't have to do this shit.
I can't even help my son with his homework because they don't do long division and multiplication the same way I was taught. And I have no clue how the fuck they get to the number they get to with whatever method they're using. It makes no sense to me.
I know. Yeah. And I'm math deficient anyway, just like I'm common deficient.
But it's that assembly line system. When school was initially thought up, it was based on that assembly line learning, style. That doesn't work for today's, technology, the things that kids are learning. I was telling you, my son knows how to edit videos. He's 10. He's already learning how to edit videos taught himself. They're not following through. They're not growing the system to meet today's needs. They're just adding more tests to build a standard and go, look, we've met the standard.
That's it. Yeah, that's exactly
which is why so many people are doing homeschooling now.
Yeah, well, I think between that and also the fact okay, I can get an education on YouTube how to do stuff. I taught myself and made videos I showed you guys earlier. You saw those guys, right? and you're looking at that, like, I can get that education on my own now.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to happen, I think this is what I think is going to happen in the next 10 years. I think we're going to go through a major overhaul of everything. We're going to go through another major, like we're in the midst of another major
We
crisis.
have to, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I think I said this on a podcast with a guest. I think the big problem we have as a society, like if I had to pick just one thing, is that most people do not have any self-worth or value. They don't see the value in what they do. That has to change. If people aren't willing to, otherwise they're never going to stand up to everything being taken from them. This is the thing about, like, this is the biggest thing I see with a lot of parents, a lot of people in my generation and under. They don't have self-esteem. They don't have self-worth because of the way nature of the system works. You take that away, you people will go along with anything. You got to be willing to stand up, and that we got to do that. Or I think it's going to be interesting. Well, maybe Margaret, maybe, but at the same time, like if I were to narrow it down, I think that's a distraction from the real issue. We got to be like back in my day or some other stuff like that. You can look at the fact that people fought more for what they were worth. Mm-hmm. And as one of the things about learning and being a freelancer in the last couple of years, I've had to learn that hard, right? I know what I'm worth. I'm not going to go below a certain price point because you won't respect what I do. If I do, I'm going to fight for it. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight anybody for it. And I don't care who it is. People have to have that attitude. If you do, maybe the jobs get better. Maybe all these problems that we've created magically just disappear. Because
it won't be magic. It's never magic.
No, but I think like if I were to pick one core problem, like to start to fix, that's the one I'd start with. But maybe that's just me.
And this from Josh, who is glowing right now.
Yes.
You're absolutely glowing as you're giving these pearls of wisdom. I love it.
Yes. The sun's just right.
Just right.
It's like the total visual metaphor right there. I loved it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Whether I'm angel or demon, I'll leave that up to you. But that's neither here nor there. And it's the biggest thing I see when I interview an author too on a podcast. I can see their worth based on just a few little things. I can usually get a big general gist of how they see themselves, and that's and I can tell. And sometimes when I see where their sales are at or where things are going, I can kind of understand. Now, again, I've learned this stuff like years. It's taken me years to learn this stuff. So, but I've learned it on my own. Could you imagine if we had started that at a young age with everybody? If they all had that basic sense, who knows where we'd be right now? Anyway.
Well, that's a good way to end the show. We're at our hour on a positive note.
Yeah.
Josh, thanks for coming on and being our surprise guest.
Thank you.
No worries.
That's with stories of interesting computer glitches.
Yes.
Yes. It seems like I didn't fully solve the problem, but at least it comes back quicker. So it's no.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you go on my show, Margaret. I talk about that a lot. I do talk about like self-worth because it's huge. Like, can I plug my crap before I go?
Of course.
Yes, you can.
So I'll do it like this. I truly believe everybody here has something unique to offer. Your voice, your views are you, and you're the only you that's going to ever exist, right? And so part of the reason why my advertising is built the way it is, it builds on you. No, it's not. No, it's not. But it's also not necessarily even by our peers sometimes. And that's something I've noticed it's a big problem all the way around. And so, again, looking at my average, that's what I build. I build people. I build projects secondary, but I build people first because I think you are awesome.
I love that.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you again for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
As always, we love you. You are always welcome to come hang out with us.
Can I show one more thing before we wwrap up? Just
Yeah.
one more thing.
What you got? What you got?
I got something cool. Hold on, let me grab it here. I have it somewhere. Right here. Ta-da. So I am working on my first graphic novel.
Oh,
yes.
So
Show.
works.
Hold on, let me make you big here.
Let's see
Oh
if this
no!
works.
White
No!
light! White light!
The light wrecked it.
Up there, up. Yep,
Oh,
there.
there we go, there we
There you go. Yes,
Not too close.
So
there.
So here's a little. I'm
It
sorry.
like literally vanishes as you push it closer. It's kind of
Because
is like magic.
It's magic.
There you go. So anyway, so this is right now, Glass Story by Victoria Aveyard. That's what I'm reading right now. So I'm going to look at this project. So I left a really cool thing on my Facebook post. If you guys want to get involved in it, I'm drawing cool little stuff on his shelves for the cover. So when I asked everybody, put things on your desk, right? What's on your desk, I'm going to put that as little Easter eggs throughout the cover. I got to hand this in. I'm a little overdue. But I'm going to have probably my book cover for Lights Out probably in a week or two. And then I'm actually starting to draw the book now. So I'm hoping to have that out early next year, written and drawn by me. I never thought I'd get there. It's true. Yeah.
Congratulations. Woo.
Yeah. There
good
you
job.
go. Who knew?
Yeah.
So,
Keep up the good work, dude.
yeah. I'm trying.
Well, you're
Already.
doing, not trying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
You're doing
yes.
it, which is
Yes.
good.
Jane, before we go, anything from you this week?
No, I'm still plugging away at Tainted Mind, which I still have about 15,000 more to write by the end of the month.
Okay.
And I have to write a whole other short story. So
Get on it.
I am a little behind.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm
I
behind on
took-
my stuff too.
I took vacation. I really took vacation.
You're allowed to
so-
take a vacation.
Yes. But
Time
now
off is
I'm
good.
behind. So now I'm like, okay, I gotta write more. So,
And
but,
you know I've been plugging this every week, but
Yep.
this is release month. We are almost to release day, and if you go to my Facebook page, and I'll share the link in our show notes after the show's over, we have the ARC list open until tomorrow. We close the ARC list tomorrow. This is your last chance to sign up if you want to get a copy, or the advanced review copy of Acknowledge and Heal, a women-focused guide to PTSD. It'll be releasing on August 26th. We put so much work into this. This book will hopefully help a lot of people. It has been a really interesting project to be a part of. I'm so proud of Virginia for branching out and trying a different avenue with the Women's Guide. We're going to be doing one for first responders down the line, for men specifically. There's going to be a Spanish translation coming down the pipe. So we've got a lot of things that we're going to be doing to expand this series to touch as many people as possible.
Cool.
So
Congrats,
that's my
Michael.
news for the month.
and we'll be back
Congrats.
next week.
Next week, we'll see you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody in the chat. It was wonderful seeing you guys. We hope to see you again soon. Until then, take care, guys.